overview of the size of the facility. All the tan building down around. And it stretches clear out the end down there. Alright, so right here we're at the end of the line. So this boat and this boat are the last two to go out today. Pushing out 6 a day right now. So that comes up to being about 30 a week. Do the math in there. Let's talk here. So we have really, let's start with the 721. So this is a 921 Elite. 721 was the first boat we ever built back in 2009. All our boats are based off that platform, meaning that, you know, holes they're all based off that hull, that diamond V pattern, and then the decks kind of vary as you go. So 721 first boat, basically what you're going to see in a 721, and we'll see one eventually, you're going to see 2 lids in the middle, full-size rod box, and then cockpit's going to be the same, and the back deck's pretty much the same. So big difference in most of the models is you're just going to see a lot of change up here on the front deck. So whether it be at the bow, at the boxes. So this boat here comes from, customer said we love the 721, went out to the PHX, which is a little bit deeper hole at the front. It's the only one that's got a different hole is the PHX model. When we came out with the PHX model, we laid out just out there. We got a little work going on here, so just ignore that. But it's okay. Full size rod box on that side, smaller rod box here, day box, and full size storage tray, one center stack of storage. So this is what we would call the PHX layout deck. Okay. Customers then said we love the PHX layout deck, but we want it on that original Pro XP style hull. Thus comes the Elite. So you have the merge of a PHX deck with the Pro XP hull, and you get an Elite. So we got, this is the Elite. So
did you say that's the deeper hull?
Yeah, so, but that, no, the deeper hull is the PHX.
The PHX.
So we took that deck off and put it on a Pro XP hull. Okay. So we got the layout because they want that big center box. The other ones have a smaller, 2 smaller boxes. They wanted the center box, and then they wanted a day box. So that's this layout here. Then last year, customer said we love the Elite. We really like the slam latches that come in the Elite and the PHX. But you know what? We really want our 2 center boxes back with slam latches. And we want the all glass bow and a little bit bigger console, which is on this boat as well. And so then comes the 921 and 920 Elite 2. So basically you take a 920 Pro XP, give it slam latches, redesign the bow, redesign the console a little bit, and you have the 920 Elite 2, 921 Elite 2. So still the same fast hull, 2 boxes, because customers organize tackle different. I'm a big box guy. There are tons of guys that are 2 box guys. So basically then you brought the 920 Pro XP, the 921 Pro XP, put slam latches on it, and you basically get a 920 Elite 2 at that point. So really that's the 3 lines. You really got, you know, your Pro XPs, your Elites, and your Pro PHXs. So those are your 3 different lines there. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. All the boats are the same from right here to right here. Cockpit size is the same. There is a Pro XP console, and then there's an Elite and PHX console. So there's a little bit different there. This one's just a little bit wider. If you sat on side by side, it'd be hard for you to notice it, but it's just a little bit wider. Other than that, they're...
And that's made for the graph to set up on?
Yeah, so the graph mounts right here, and it's reinforced on the back side with aluminum. Same thing there. We got a stack mount. We can mount 2 graphs on it. We'll see all that when we come back up. So we're gonna go all the way to the back. That's where it all starts. So no matter what model you choose, we do custom color packages in every boat. We don't have an A, B, C, D color. If you want gel, we'll do gel. If you want flake, we'll do gel. Or do whatever. If you want a white hull, we'll do a white hull. So we make the boat you would like to have. So you get to pick your colors and everything.
I already have a few color designs made up on emails.
Yeah.
I'm a big black and red fan.
Oh yeah. We'll see some black and red, I'm sure. And we'll talk through all these stations when we come back up. So let's stop here. So in the back, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to make a deck, and then that's a hole over there. We'll see a hole here. Holes are right there. So really, we're making two barks to come out of the back. So the deck and the hole. And everything we're going to do, you're going to notice that there's a lot of hands-on process. So our guys are really well trained and really know what they're doing, but it's really their hands doing the work. So here, I want you to think of grandma's cake pan. So grandma's got a cake, she's baking a cake. She would bake the cake, pull it out, flip it over, put the icing on it, and then we would eat it. Here, we're gonna ice the cake before we ever build it. We're gonna ice the pan, which is the mold. So everywhere you see color changes, we'll call that icing. And so here's a color change, here's a color change, and here's a color change. We're gonna tape these lines, hand tape them. They're gonna come back and peel and paint, peel and paint, peel and paint, but they're painting the mold. So if you have grandma's cake pan in there, she's gonna be there, and we're gonna ice whatever she wants, and then we're gonna build the cake behind it, put it in the oven and cook it, pull it out, flip it over, and it's done at that point. So this is we flipped it over and it's done at this point. This is what you get. So there's glass built on the back side of it, flake and gel on top with clear coat. So same thing here. Now you've got gel and you've got flake here. So again, pick whatever color you want, matching it all up. So looking here, we basically have a 920 or 921 Elite right here. So you're looking at a deck and you see one big center box, port side, full side rod box, and a starboard shorter rod box with a day box, and then you have the Elite 2 right beside it. So see the two center boxes and two full size rod boxes. So these are two different models, same boat.
Are you still producing both models?
Oh, tons, yes,
yeah.
yes. Yeah, and we still do even the 920 Pro XP. It's really this same boat. It just doesn't have slam latches on it. You know, and the bow's a little different. But this is probably the two best sellers. You know, line that up with the PHX.
And these are both 920s?
921.
921s.
So, all right, well, let's go to the back where it all starts. This is the deck mold. So this is the pan, we're talking about it. Notice that there are some color changes in there. That's just a guide for them to tape by. So these are the colors that, you know, where they're gonna tape, the change colors, pinstripe here. But this is the deck. It's flipped upside down. So you gotta think of it, when we pull it out, we're gonna flip it back over. This is your cockpit area, your battery area. Live wells, we'll add boxes to these, your storage box. And then you have, this is the whole mold. 721 number 9, built 10/3/2018. So we build all our own molds. We maintain all our molds. This is Phoenix, we design it. So first step in the whole process is they want to get the mold really clean, and we want to butter the pan. So they're going to wax it. They get it really good and clean, and then they wax it, and then it'll slide over the table. We're going to see the end of the process before we really get started. This one's been sitting in the mold about 5 days, so now it's time to pull it. So what they're going to do is they're kind of just getting some points to hook to. They got basically a cardboard ring up there with a little bit of fiberglass over it, and they stuck a strap through it. So it's sitting, this is a completed boat, so the hull, so it's sitting in the mold, and what you see is the mold on the outside, what the boat is on the inside.
So we're going to be the first ones to actually see the color in the hull.
First one to actually see this boat come out of the mold. Just trying to get a little air underneath it.
Now the scales, is that for part of the removal process?
They'll weigh the boat when they're done. When it comes out of the mold, they'll actually weigh what it is.
It's like tapping around a cheesecake pan.
Walk up to it.
Wow.
So that usually the static on it's so strong, I mean it'll pull your hair in because it's got a little charge on it.
That is beautiful.
I might go ahead and touch it. Okay. They look at you. But you can see red. It's the cleanest it'll ever be. Yeah, that's what I say. Because from here on, you know, we're not about getting it in the water and getting it dirty.
That's its birth.
Yeah. You don't get to see that on every tour, I'll say that. Each boat has its mold. So 819, we have multiple molds. Just like Grandma had multiple pans, we got multiple pans to cook from. So there'll be multiple 819 molds. Multiple 721s, 921s. They're all in a rotation. We don't just build a certain one on Monday and a certain on Tuesday. They stay in the rotation based on orders. We don't build a boat until we get an order. So either the dealer is ordering or a customer's ordering. Somebody's got to pick it all out. We don't do any of that. So the customer says, you know, I want these colors and I want all this. Then we go to build. So
you get lifespan wise, is it by number of boats or time?
Just like Grandma's cake pan, as long as she takes care of it,
it's gonna last
forever. So there are times where we'll have to do a little repair here and there. We have a maintenance on that, you know, but yes, we take good care of them. This is where we started with, that's day one, this is day two. They're gonna hand tape this whole boat. So they have a sheet that they know what colors are to be put on it. But now they've cleaned the mold, we're coming back in now, and we're just hand taping. So you can see that's part of the process, kind of the end of the process right here. So, I mean, it takes, they push 6 boats a day, every station does, but here you see they got a deck and a hull, so they got to do 12. So you got to tape up 12 decks and hulls. So it's a full day's work, and your hands get really tired, I think, of running tape all day.
I imagine so.
But you got to be right. You can't have a wave in it, because that's what makes the line. Now we're catching these guys kind of later. I told you to kind of catch them later in the day. They paint first thing in the morning. This is where the shift starts, right here, because that's the last, you know, kind of end. They start right here. They'll push the boats they're pushing in right now. They'll paint first thing Monday morning. We got one. Nope. They'll paint it Monday. Missed all the paint because they are early in the morning, but they've got consoles in here right now. So there's 3 booths over there, 3 booths over here. They'll slide a hole in, they'll slide a deck in. Basically gonna grab the gun and start painting. The backpacks have the flake in it, and they'll paint, peel, tape, paint, peel, tape, paint until it's all done. Some layers they'll put the black in between, kind of like at home when you're painting your wall, you got a primer. So they'll black in between them just to really make it shine better and a good coverage. So they paint 6 hulls and 6 decks. And then they black them out like right here. So the consoles, that's what those are. Those are console parts. So we do all our own glass parts as well. Just like the boat, they get a paint job too. Let's slide around. So here's what it looks like after it comes out of paint. Now what you got to get in your mind is we painted the mold layers after layer after layer, depending on what color it is. And you can kind of see the shape of those pinstripes. That's because if you started at the pinstripe first, you're going to get more thicker paint because of it as you layer it. Now, that thickness isn't towards the outside of the boat, it's towards the inside. So when we come back now, we're going to lay fiberglass behind it. That'll even it all out. So this is the step we finished this morning. They painted it. It's going to dry just a few more minutes, and then they're going to get their very first coat of fiberglass on it. Because really right now, we could grab it right here. We could pull all the paint out of it. Because it doesn't stick to the pan. The only thing it's going to stick to is fiberglass, the chemical bond that takes place. So we got to go ahead and get a really good coat of glass on it so that it dries overnight. At this point, we really want to take our time. We don't want to rush the process. We're going to go slow and steady at this point because it's that chemical reaction. It'll get hot when we apply the glass and it starts to kick. That chemical is going to come off and the catalyst is going to make it warm, and we want to let it cool all the way off and dry before we apply more glass to it. If we did, we'd trap that heat. We don't want to trap the heat. He's going to move this one.
How long does it take these guys and girls to learn the craft of the painting and the pinstriping? And
so those guys have been here forever. There's a couple handlers that will come in between, some helpers, and then they'll kind of pick it up as they go. But Jeff's been here, was at a boat, you know, other boat before us, you know, so I mean they've been painting a really long time.
That's what everybody sees.
Because it's a true art. There's nobody back here saying you did that right. You got to know. You know, it's, yes, there's a chemical science to it all because of the catalyst and all that, but laying those nice straight lines, you got to be a good painter. And they're usually really, really tall, and they're really lanky because they got to get way out there to the middle of the boat. So here is, we've got our first skin coat on now, so that would be step 1. Right here is step 2. On the same day, we want to get glass applied to the back side of the paint. So here we've got our very first coat on now. It's going to dry overnight, We're gonna have multiple nights where we don't do anything. We're gonna apply glass and let it dry. Apply glass and let it dry. This here, like I said up there, it's gonna be about 5 days before it gets out of the mold. A lot of boat companies are gonna push it out in about 2.5 because they're in the about building boats fast. We're about building quality, the best boat we can build. See, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be today's painted boats. So we got 2 more we got to do skin coat. Once it has the skin coat and dries overnight, they'll get its bulk layer and dry overnight. Then they'll come back and you see it's nice and straight across the back. That's where the transom goes in. We use acoustic composite board. It goes in for the transom. It's multiple layers of that board. And then they fiberglass that board in. So it really seals it off really nice. So from here to here is where that Cusa is. And there's your thickness. So it's multiple layers of it. There's a piece of that Cusa down there in the bottom of the floor. That's where we'll stick a bilge pump later. But this is all fiberglassed in. It's got a little bit of heat to it. It's kind of warm today. Coming here in the wintertime, you can warm your hands on that really easy.
So is that then solid?
It's solid.
That whole back transom is solid.
That, you know, back in the day, Granddad just had his little piece of plywood right here. And there's no way this will rot. It's not wood, so it won't rot in any way. But also, it's sealed up with glass, so no water can penetrate it. They're going to come back. I don't have a boat up back here right now that has it, but they'll add foam boxes on the side, and they'll put the stringers in the floor. So what I have hanging up back here, those are your stringers. So they'll go down, they'll get epoxied in, they'll dry overnight, they'll come back and glass over them and let them dry again, and then they'll add foam boxes on the side. I'll point those out when we get up front. They'll add those foam boxes. We're really just hollow boxes that we glass onto the side and glass, you know, into the floor as well. They'll grab the gun and they'll drill holes in those boxes and shoot foam in it. So it's a closed cell foam. Water can't penetrate the foam. But it also, we glass back over the box, the water can't penetrate the box. So it's like a double-double on that, taking care of the foam. That adds your, you know, your flotation, your buoyancy, your quietness. So it's all in the floor, and it's in those foam boxes as well.
And they're all sealed in glass.
Yeah, I don't have one back here. I'll just show you the process. So we make all our own glass parts. So there's those console lids all over there. All the ones you see laying down are the console bottoms. And then we have an elite, that graph that goes at the front, those 2 graph holders, that's a stack right there, elite stack. All these are on particular color to that boat. Again, we're not just making a bunch of consoles to put them on a boat. It matches the boat because we chose to do that. So let me show you fiberglass. So this is where we spend the money. We spend the money in buying the best resin we can buy, the best that money can buy, and then we buy the best fiberglass you can buy. So this is a knit, it's not a woven. A lot of companies will use a woven. Think of a woven more like an elastic waistband where it's going to kind of stretch out one way. This is my term, nobody else's term. This is kind of more of a spandex. It'll flex all kind of ways. So you got it stitched this way, this way, this way, and this way. And then you've got it, you know, kind of, you can see all the other stitching in it. So as we lay this out, a lot of boat companies won't spend the money on this because it's so expensive. And they'll say, you know, down the road, the boat's gonna go hit the lake, it's gonna hit a wave. When it hits the wave, it's gonna flex no matter what. If you don't give it the multiple ways to flex, well, then you're gonna show up some stretch cracks, or, you know, just cracks in general. So what you add to us is you add the best fiberglass you can buy, the best resin you can buy. We do it by hand, so we really take our time. And then the other one is we do the process slow. So really all of our steps are into making the best boat we can make, and we don't skimp on anything. We don't rush it out of here. We don't use cheaper fiberglass, we don't use a cheaper resin, and you know, we don't have a machine doing it. It's truly handmade. So when you see our boat on the water, a lot of what you can't see is this. You know, the value that you invest in is really what we do back here. We can make a boat really shiny and really pretty, put it next to another boat that's really shiny and really pretty. You can't see the guts of what we did. So that's where our ride comes from, the nice smooth ride. All that comes from buying the best quality product. So here's the Coosa board. So you can hold it very dense, not very strong, you know, not wood, not very heavy, but we use this in areas where we know we need screw retention. We obviously use it for transom in the floor system, but there are areas where we just know we're gonna hang a light and have to put a screw. We'll do some little pieces here. These guys spend all day cutting Coosa. See here, this was step one. We missed that middle step of the skin coat, and we've already got our bulk layer started on this one. So they'll come back Monday and they'll scuff this over again and really lay the bulk layer on top of it. Then they'll add the boxes that are behind us. So our storage boxes are all finished out. Those have to be added to the boat because we can't spray inside there, paint it. So we paint the box separate and then add it to the boat. It gets sealed all the way around. And then when we go to the grinding room, they'll cut this off and make an opening into that box. You got a question?
Are these, it looks like they're a combination of chopped and sheet material?
On the deck only. We don't use any chop in the hull.
The hull's all laid.
All laid. But you're going to see a lot of sheet. That's just your first layer. Here you can see it's not all chopped.
So this is the underside then of the top deck.
This is it. Yeah. So this is the finished product as far as lamination is concerned. We didn't glass over this really good because we're going to cut it out. So we didn't want to waste material. We're going to cut it back in here. So there's some more of that Coosa. We'll put a light there. We're going to actually hang our rod tubes off of that one. So there's just everywhere we know we need a little extra strength. Got a little mat here and there. You've got cockpit floor, shifters right here. These little white tabs we're going to use to hang wiring harness on.
What is the matting on the side?
That's just for a little extra strength.
Okay.
And we know some areas that, you know, just commonly use a lot more traffic in those areas, so we just beef it up a little more. Same thing, it'd be like here where you're going to have a tie down cleat.
What's that? So this hull here, the top cap, is that the one that was setting out around the corner here?
I'd have to look. It probably is. So here, let's look at this because we didn't get to see it in the back. So this is the foam box. Already has the foam in it. So you can see that this whole piece was added. Same thing at the two boxes up front. And then the floor system, the stringers are underneath. These are your stringers running underneath. And then we put the floor on top of that. And we drill through the floor and fill all that area with foam as well. So we got a Coosa board going across the cockpit, that black board right there. We'll use that later on in the process to drill through the top down into that, which helps tie it together. I'll show you that when we get up front. So we got Coosa underneath the battery trays as well. Areas where you know you're just going to get a lot of weight.
And that Coosa waterproof and then sealed?
Yeah, this is glassed over it, see? That's fiberglass on top of it. don't rot, it's not wood.
Remember the old days that the stringers went bad?
Always.
That's going to be a beautiful boat.
Yeah, so in the lifetime of our boat, we've never had a transom failure. So kind of a big deal. You know, a lot of companies are going to have transom failures, but we build them this way and we've never had a transom failure in the process. Probably it. It matches. So here's a 919 Pro XP. So we have the 819, the 919, the 818 Pro XP, you know, 721, the 920, and the 920. Those are all Pro XPs. Those were kind of that original group of boats. So this boat right here is a 919. You take a 225. And a lot of guys go, man, that's just a shorter boat, it's a smaller motor. Still a mid-70s boat, very comfortable. You see a lot of retired guys will buy this boat, or a lot of guys will buy this boat as their last boat. You don't see a lot of them for sale, like resale, because those guys will just really hold on to them. When you do get one for sale, it's usually the customer has passed away, the dad passed, the mom or dad, you know, the dad passed away and mom's calling going, hey, I got this boat for sale. So this is a super quality boat. You can rig it out just like you would as high as an elite boat. So because it's a 919, 819, don't think that, you know, it's, hey, well, that's just a little bit cheaper boat. Not exactly what I want. We built it with the same quality materials and everything. So you can see here that the live wells, the storage boxes are now in, big storage box up front is in, and those are white because we painted them and added them to the boat later. But now, because they're glassed in, it's all solid, you know, it's all part of the boat now. That gives you a nice clean box finish.
Pretty.
That's probably a 9. This would be a 920 Elite 2 lid, 921 Elite 2. These are Elites, not the Pro XP. You can kind of see the difference in the bow. So the 920 Pro XP bow was kind of like that, where now we've redesigned it here where it accommodates bigger graphs. Because we can put that stack on there as well.
And that's the 9...
This is the 920 Elite.
920 Elite.
2, because it's got
Elite
2
2.
lids in the center.
Okay.
And this is a 921 Elite 2. So you got 2 different lengths right here.
Yeah, that's a top cap.
Oh, you shouldn't touch the build paint when it's got painted. I don't have it on my face still.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I was going like this when I saw it. I was about to push my glasses up. So we want to do everything we can before we put the cap on. So that's bilge pumps, live well pumps, through hull fittings, battery charger, trolling motor harness, main boat harness, everything we can. Transducers are rigged. Go ahead, this will be your passenger side rod box. This will be a rod box, that'll be a rod box. Go cut that carpet a little cleaner. But we want to do everything we can before we have to put them together.
The battery chargers, is that custom order, or you guys have a specific?
No, we can do a Mint Coda charger, we can do a dual pro charger, we can do a PowerPole charge. We can actually do a piggyback charger outside the boat. So that looks like that's a PowerPole charge there.
Do you see more guys going to that?
You see it? I mean, it's not cheap.
No.
So there are a good many guys that use it, but You know, the old standard's still there. Plenty of guys do it as well. For a while it was hard to get, but now it seems to be pretty easy to get. Keep raising the price on it. So here's our grab handles, cleats, fuel fill, everything that's gonna need to get a wrench on it. We go ahead and do it at this point. So we wanna get this good tight, so while we still can reach underneath it, we go ahead and do that. We'll pre-rig the motor, pre-rig all the live wells. Two things didn't have back there to talk about. Well, there's one on this boat, sorry. This boat has an integrated wiring harness. Most models have it. If it doesn't, you can upgrade to it. Or if you get more than 3 graphs, or 3 graphs or more, we can upgrade to that. So it has a fuse panel that drops right here and allows you to run your graphs directly to the fuse panel, which gives you clean power back to the battery. So it's a simpler, if that's a word, more simple way to run your graphs, and they're fused right there. So if you ever have an issue, you're looking right at the fuse panel.
I like.
Since this recording, Phoenix has come out with a new integrated power supply for electronics.
Pretty much that style of thing right there. And we've been doing that for a really long time.
You guys build all of your own harnesses?
Yeah, we got a company that does that. Of course, we design them, but they're built off-site. So we call this area pinning. So we basically now have, over there, they're dry setting the deck just to kind of make sure everything goes good. And then they grab this drum here and grab the gun on it. And you can see that pink right there. That's an epoxy that we use in the floor, an epoxy we use across the back of the transom. And that's where I told you about those screws that kind of come down into that black board, that piece of board. Don't rub up against it. But they're going to come here and put screws through here, and they're going to
Top and bottom.
pull that down. Underneath there right now is the big piles of that epoxy. So when they pull that down, it's like peanut butter and jelly. That epoxy all spreads out in this area. Once that dries, you can't get the top.
You're not getting the top and bottom cap apart. Like,
they'll run the 4200 around the top. Shoebox finish here where the edge outside comes over the inside, just like this. They'll come along next and they'll screw and pin all the way around. Pinning screw, and then they'll come back and have a rub rail screw holding it on. So here they've already begun the carpeting process. So we want to carpet the whole deck. The lids and everything are carpeted separately, but we carpet the floor, we carpet the back deck, we'll carpet here as well, and we'll carpet the front, and we finish up carpeting the rod boxes. The next step is they'll bring the fuel tank over. The fuel tank sits in this area right here. It basically looks like a little couch. So as you can see that shape over there, that's the shape of the fuel tank. They'll set it down. It is an aluminum fuel tank. We've already pre-rigged our vents, pre-rigged our fill. That side over there goes to the motor, and then they'll rig all that up and they'll put a carpeted piece over the top, seat base. So that'll go over the top, with seal all that up, and then there'll be a piece to go across the back here. So that, a lot of guys will call and go, hey, can I drill and put this here and drill and put this here? And there's a big sign that says do not drill. You still got to call.
but can I drill there?
Can I? But these hoses, the way they lay across the tank, you don't know. And then the tank's really just barely right underneath there. So it's not, you can't drill there, just like the sign says. A padded front deck on most models. So we pad, everything you see here is padded.
Which, like the 721s, does it depend on the particular option for the padded deck?
No, you can add it.
It does make a difference.
It does. Just that little bit of pad standing up here all day makes a really big difference. And we also offer a padded cooler lid as well. So if you're stepping out of the driver's seat, stepping up onto the deck, you've got a padded lid. And then also when you're kneeling down and going into that box, you got a padded lid.
Flexible light.
Oh yeah. Every boat.
See that?
So your cooler is right here. So we would also pad that lid right there. So when you're kneeling into that box, you got a nice soft spot. The cooler is the far one, and these are 2 storage boxes over here.
Okay.
The same thing, those boxes are finished out.
The little things.
What about a little recycle?
So look from this side. So all your pumps are underneath here. All your pumps, all our wiring, everything's kind of preset, and the plumbers are coming along next. They're gonna wire all your live wells up. They're gonna hang that integrated panel on the back. They're gonna wire all the way up, or plumb all the way out as well. So all of this will be finished up in the next step. Of course, it's Monday's task at this point, but you can see the whole boat's carpeted now.
They have the numbers.
So this is the last boat for next week. So we're sitting right where we should be.
So they're laid out for...
Yep, so this is, so number 30 is that boat right on the next one to get on the hoist up there, where she's cleaning in that box. That's number 30 for this week, and we just pushed over to number 30 for next week.
So 30 boats going out
30
next
boats
week.
right here, ready to go. So we're right where we should be. And we're actually ahead because we already pinned Monday's boats. So we got one more to pin, and it'll be 6 boats for 10.
And they're all sold.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a good thing, right?
Absolutely. Well, unless you need to order one.
15 to 18 weeks, probably. You can have one. Not bad.
No.
And you get what you want. You get the graphs you want, you get the trolling motor you want.
I had a dealer tell me, just a week ago, I stopped in and spoke to one. The actual salesman wasn't around, but the guy behind the counter says, you want to get your order in, dealers only allowed so many boats. You want to get your order in before we run out of boats to sell. Okay. I thought that was odd.
Talk to the seller. Sure, he'll tell you about it.
Well, I thought that was, yeah.
Not when you're getting your order in. It's not a stock boat, it's an order boat. Had a deck here, an Elite. Obviously you notice the bow. Rod boxes are all nice and clean now. We got our integrated panel. You see that fuse panel is in that rod box over there. We're gonna hang it up on that kickboard eventually. But here's the point of the process where a lot of boat companies are gonna say, here, you got a particular graph we're gonna put here, brand, and we got a particular brand trolling motor we're gonna put here. You're probably gonna have a particular brand motor you're gonna put back there. We're gonna say, again, you're building your boat. We want you to have your boat. We're not just selling a boat to you. We want your boat. At this point, we're gonna say, what graphs do you want? Do you want Lowrance? Do you want Humminbird? Do you want Garmin? We'll do all 3. We'll do multiples of the same. So these guys right here are rigging all day long, trolling motors and graphs. Lots of knowledge, in my mind, lots of knowledge right here. So guys, if we're gonna rig a Garmin and a Humminbird and a Lowrance all on the same boat, and they know how to do it. So we rig at the factory. Dealers do rig, but a lot of times, most of the time, customers are gonna ask us to rig it for them. So when it leaves here, it just needs batteries and gas. And just turn everything on when it gets to the dealer. If everything works, rock and roll. So we do everything in-house, where a lot of other boat companies are gonna be back to, hey, if you want this brand, we'll do it, but if you want something else, get it from your dealer. So here's where a shroud will go on this boat. Notice the bow difference. So a shroud will go on this boat. This looks like a 721. So here, different style bow, because we haven't redesigned this bow. Like that's a brand new boat that's pretty recent. This boat here, we've been around for a long time. We've redesigned the bow a little bit, but that's all gonna be fiberglass on that bow. This will be a vinyl shroud on this bow.
This is the 721.
Pretty sure it's a 721. It looks like that.
And this one is a
Elite 920, 921 Elite.
So is a 721 the deeper the hull?
Same hull on these
Same
two
hull.
boats. Your PHX is going to be the only one with a different hull, and that's the 19 and the 20 and the 21 PHX. So really you have our first boat ever built, and now our most recent, if you add the 2 lids, our most recent model.
And
we've been building this boat a long time. Only thing that's changed, we changed a little bit right in here, and we changed the console to make it that wider console. Everything else on this boat has been there from the beginning. We like to say we got it right in the first time. We didn't have to make a bunch of changes, so. But then customers, you know, you see the 2 lids and you see the 1 lid. That's kind of been the thing of just listening to customers fish. Hey, I organize tackle this way. Can I get a big box? Well, we'll do it on a 920 Elite.
Yeah, you gotta add that capacity.
So we'll move forward.
great. Purple gray. Good.
Pure quality.
So here, step here, and you can look into this. So the bilge tray is all completed out at this point. So that black tray right there comes out, and you can get to your pumps. So you don't, like in older boats, you have to take out the fuel tank to get to the pump. You just take that tray out, and you're right to your pumps. So you got a live well pump go out on the weekend. Super easy to change. It's a cartridge. It twists out, and on this model, it just plugs into the back there on the hanging on the wall.
Oh, that's nice.
The powerful pumps are over there. Our main cutoff, our integrated harness is over there. All our bilge pumps are out. Everything's nice and clean.
So there's room for 5 batteries across there.
Depending on how you do it. If you don't have pumps, you definitely can set 2 batteries over there. And then you can set 3, 2, and 1, and you could really set another one on that plate over there.
That.
Yeah. So you can set 5 back.
You know, pull out a single contact.
Well, yeah.
So here, multiple brands of trolling motors as well, all the way down to the Minn Kota Fortrex even. So, Lowrance, there's a Garmin one around here somewhere, I'm sure. There's a Garmin right there. So again, multiple brands, we don't care.
Customized.
We want you to do what you want.
I like this color.
That white?
It's a
Oh. Okay.
I do.
So it's all done there. Now we got the deck carpeted. We got the fuel tank in. You can see how that nice and solid. All
That's
there.
L-shaped
Your
fuel
seats
tank?
are gonna go right there. Yeah, they're right over there, so that you can see.
Okay.
So 50 gallon in most boats. L-shaped tank.
It's a unique color combination.
Yeah, and, you know, you can see here. See the blue in there?
Yeah.
You kind of basically have Galaxy Mist with blue in it, or black silver with blue in it, to pick up this blue right here. So that's black ice. It's one of my favorite colors. You see it even comes around up in here. This is the shroud. So if it's not an Elite or PHX, it's going to get a vinyl shroud at the bow. We do make this shroud where you can put another graph up here, so you can do 2 graphs on it. We do offer that. Trying to find something different here. So really every station you see back there is a day now. So you got plumbing at the back, you got electronics and trolling motor right in here. So 2 days in here. Motor rigging's right over there. Slides over and gets a motor put on.
So they've got to stay on top of it to keep things
You got to push
day
your
by
6.
day by day.
You got to push your 6. If you don't get your 6, then really is a teamwork process all the way from the back of the place all the way out the door. Somebody else isn't doing their part. Now there are a lot of cross training happen, so we can jump over and help somebody else and then jump back. I get mine done early in the day. See, it's pushing 2 o'clock, so we're kind of winding down really. 2:30. These guys will leave 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock today because they're kind of the last one. But we started all the way at the back of the plant this morning. We push boats twice a day. We'll push them at lunch, then we push them again in the afternoon.
Just station to station?
We'll push them, yeah.
All the polishing.
And this is what happens from here on out now. So we've got it pretty much rigged right here. It's going to slide up. From here out the door, we're really trying to clean. So we're buffing the deck. Of course, it's been clean. I mean, but you know, we've been in it for 3 or 4 days now. So we're just making sure everything's nice and shiny. Slide sideways here, hits the final finish. They'll go all over the hole with it really good and clean. Put the drain plug in. We go back down, and then we start testing everything and cleaning from there. So the girls up front, boat number 8 up there, she's cleaning, and they'll test electronics, and then it'll slide over here. And these are all the boats for Monday over here to the right. Here's your leak, the original leak. All 2 grafts or 1 graft. We didn't do a stack on this one, they didn't want it. But they're gonna do probably a different mount aftermarket. And we didn't even mount grafts, so that says to me they're probably gonna do an aftermarket mount here as well. Do they need it?
I was gonna say, can you mount right to the day?
Do they need it? No, because this has aluminum, it's reinforced here. It doesn't need to add any more weight to the shroud. It handles graft plenty fine. Behind us here, we got an 818. So we're still 1 box in the middle, a little bit shorter boat, 2 full-size rod boxes, but you can kind of see the difference in the console now. This is a new style console, and that's an older style console. Really, all you're seeing is that one looks a little bit shorter right here. Looks a little bit wider on this console than that console, really. It's the width.
Compared to, well, I've got a dual console and I got dual grafts, so there's just so much more room without that extra console and graft.
So
it's like a limo right there. Like, you know,
yep.
I don't know what
here, you see the plate over here, it says Phoenix on it. So we can add a dual console in this boat, and it goes in and out.
Removable.
Every day. If you want it in today, out tomorrow. And a lot of customers will just order that and then order a console later. You know, they're like, hey, I don't want one, but probably when I resell it, the guy's gonna want one. He'll just call us, we'll ship one to him, and he put it in.
or when I go or don't go.
Or when you go or don't go. That's exactly right. Or when it's raining.
When I don't like my co-angler, I leave it at home.
When it's raining or cold, yeah. So, all the boats are the same from right here to right here. So width-wise, depth, you get an 818 and sit down in it and come over and sit in this top of the line, same boat. So let's try this way.
So, right there.
There's one. We need to go around. Oh. I don't know if we can even get over there. I can get through here, y'all can get through here. Still a work in progress, so ignore the little mess. But again, same right here. Now, when you come to the PHX, we upgraded it a little bit more. We had an all glass ring on the step-up box. So normally that's a proto-met kind of deal. It's just a black ring. But on the PHX now, we can do it whatever color you want it, and it's a fiberglass part. PHX. Same thing at the shroud. So that shroud back there is now a glass part on the PHX. This will go there. Same thing at the bow. This is all glass, and we can add that Elite stack. There's one right there. We can add that on top of here. But you can see the holes runs a little deeper towards the front. The boxes will be a little bit deeper. Big difference that you'll see every day is your gunnel is a little bit higher. So here, the height of your gunnel is going to run a little further forward. So what that does is, on the water, you got this kind of cutting your big waves, and when you get spray coming over on those windy days, this will stop your spray. All our boats ride great in rough water.
That's what I've
Compared
heard.
to any other boat. But then you jump into PHX, it's going to be a drier ride, and you're going to cut the waves a little bit better on those really, really rough days. I run a 20 PHX, not because I fish up north, but because I run Gunnersville, Wheeler, and Wilson that tend to blow the current backwards.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's what I fish St. Clair, Erie, Ontario.
definitely, I mean, PHX is what that's built for. And you can get a 19, 20, and 21. So the feature you get from that, then, you still get that big center box. You get the full-size rod box, smaller rod box, and a day box. And you get an all-glass bow, all-glass console. That's where that shroud comes in, and then an all-glass step-up ring. There's no vinyl in the bow. It's also glass up here as well. So your switch panel's all fiberglass too. Come around this side, you can see. So at this point, you can't really add anything else because it comes with it all. The draft package will be a little higher, standard. Your wheels on your trailer will be upgraded. Your trailer will be upgraded. That's all standard stuff. Where on the other boats, you're gonna have to upgrade. You wouldn't be able to even upgrade to these parts because they're only available on the PHX. Okay. Now this one's pretty decked out. It's got a radio in it and a dual console.
No.
Right.
She's there.
Yeah. And
I'll get you a
me,
dual console if I buy a new one.
For me, it really is a no-brainer when it comes to that. Because you can take it out is the best thing. It's not bolted in.
There's your Yamaha motor.
I saw them sitting there.
So that's the PHX, and then here's the Elite. Oh, it's another PHX. They're easy to find because they've all got a glass shroud on them. So another PHX.
Pro XP sitting beside it.
Yeah. So 721 right over there. So looking at your gunnels, see how the gunnels on that one are going to kind of run down a little lower up there at the very front.
Yeah.
See, notice here, look at that. Notice here.
Don't have the depth up there.
And then here, we got like nothing.
And that's the
dry ride.
Pro XP compared to the
This is
PHX.
721. This is the PHX.
Okay.
Your gunnel's definitely going to be higher. This is it.
She's pointing to that.
And that's why I got the PHX because the first boat we had was a center box. I come from another brand before I worked here, and I wanted a big center box.
Mine has that team layout aluminum deck, which I've gotten used to it. I don't have too much complaints about it, except screws coming loose. Do you see many guys upgrading from a 45 to a 52-inch trolling?
We will.
Mine's got a 45, and I wish I had at least a 52 on it. And
You
it's
see it up there. So here you can see grass fit easily up here. I mean, this is a big Humminbird 12 and a Garmin.
that would be my setup.
Super easy to see. I would do live scope here and 360 here. And we can add a third graph. We can do a third graph right here.
Tuesday.
We do them all the time.
Oh yeah. They're not working out of my checkbook. And that's why I try to do a lot of my stuff myself.
Yeah.
So like, you know, if I can do it, it's more things that I
It's
can
going to
do.
be more expensive to rig.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, I want a setup like that and a Solix 15 on the back.
That's what
One
I run.
single graph.
That's what I run back there.
I've got two Helix 12s now, and I want that Solix 15 back there.
I run Solix 15. I actually have a 15 up front and a Garmin up top. I can run 4 screens here and one live scope screen. That's 20.
price difference between the base Pro XP and the PHX?
Pretty pricey. Big jump.
I mean,
Because you're going from a 721, skipping over the Elite, and going all the way to the PHX.
the Elite, where does, and that falls in the middle of the PHX. Is it in switches? It is in, I know it's not in construction so much, but like this here, you move to the fiberglass panels. The Elite has still the plastic or vinyl.
They'll have this style, but they'll have a vinyl style and a vinyl step-up rig.
And the difference between the Pro XP and the Elite?
So you're going to have an all vinyl style here.
Little slider there, honey.
No glass at all. We can do a dual, like I said, we can do a shelf right here. There's a flat spot that's about that wide, and we can do a graph here. So you can do 2 graphs on this shroud. But it's still vinyl there and still vinyl at the step-up box.
Longevity-wise, the glass is going to hold up longer than the vinyl.
You're not going to bounce around a lot with glass either. Investment-wise,
and that's not even an option you said on these.
not an option on the Pro XP. Originally, this shroud right here was almost the same. We had this shroud on the PHX originally, this style. And when we redesigned for that to fit, the glass to fit it. But it doesn't fit down this way. So, I mean...
So really, the step from the Pro XP to the Elite, is there much differences in those two
you get
lines?
slam latches.
Okay.
You get a higher graph package standard. The graphs are a little bit better. Trolling motor is probably an upgraded trolling motor. Other than that, slam latch is a big thing. You know what I'm talking about when I say slam latch, right?
You don't have to twist and turn.
You just straight up.
Yeah.
And that's why when we redesigned the deck for the Elite, that's where this 2 lid comes into play. Customers are like, I want slam latches, but I want 2 lids. So we had to redesign the deck and all the lids to make it fit. These latches are at a different distance and the deck's reinforced. So when they do that, that's when you get the Elite and the Elite 2.
Yeah, mine right now is the twist.
Yeah, and that's what these are.
They just,
These are all
just an underhook.
Yep, and then it latches down.
And
so that's
they're
a pro
gonna-
toe.
I've got, yep. You know, to me, the Pro XP, it's either going to be Pro XP or PHX.
Yeah, and you get so much more when you get the PHX is the thing.
And it's got the deeper hull.
Yeah, and it's made for up north where you are.
Speed-wise difference between them is the Pro XPs and the Elite's going to be a little bit quicker because of the hull difference.
You know, depending on your setup, can you drive this one rough water easier? Yes. Your rough water is going to be
Yeah, and that's something I
easier to
cannot
handle.
complain about my boat now. I fished the open down on the James last year, and I run 74 mile an hour with a partner in it. So I can't complain speed-wise on that, and this is going to be...
comfort of that speed will be in this boat. You'll just be like, oh, I'm not tired when I get off the water.
Beautiful.
Other questions?
Trailer-wise, you guys build your trailers?
Those are built at Marine Master. They're just up the road in Tullahoma. They bring 6 down a day. You probably can see one over there.
And this is like finished polished, ready to slide out the door.
Yeah, so they'll throw the cover on it here in a little bit and they'll go to a dealer. So this is a base trailer, so they're not paint over gator hide on this one. The wheels aren't upgraded.
It's a channel trailer, that's nice.
I don't really have one. That's an option to add the trick step, but then that's got a wheel package on it, and that one's got a wheel package on it, upgraded wheels. So that kind of comes standard with your PHX when you upgrade your wheels.
I like the C channels.
Yes, yes. So hydraulic, manual deck plates, Bob's, Atlas, V-Lock.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Power poles, rafters, talons, whatever you want there. We rig all that.
This is where they set it down on the trailer.
So right
then.
here, they'll raise it up. These 6 will slide back this afternoon and be ready for Monday. They'll pull them up individually, buff over the hole one more time, buff the rail one more time, raise it up, put the decal on, then it meets the trailer and slides forward. We'll get everything in the prop, make sure all the instruction manuals are in the boat.
So
Get it covered up.
I've read and heard internet talk, and granted, squeaky wheel sometimes, guys complaining about decals coming on. Is it just...
Most of the time it's rough water, or they're bumping a stump.
And I heard somebody say rough water.
Rough water, bumping a stump. And
Is it just from that adhesion?
or they'll buy a decal, and maybe we had a red, black, and white decal on there originally, and then they put a chrome decal on, and then they didn't apply it right. It has to be used, you have to use acetone and isopropyl alcohol, and they'll use denatured alcohol. Denatured alcohol has an oil to it, so that's why they fall off. So we gotta, once we put it on and get it on, my decals have never fallen off. So
Yeah. And there again,
and I figured I've been in some of the roughest water
it's
too.
internet chatter.
It is, and we'll send you a new one when it falls off, whether you put it on or not, you know. So yeah, these are your base standard wheels on this model, and that's just paint. That's just gator hide. There's no paint on over that. There is a paint over version of that trailer where you add pinstripes too.
Okay. So, not having a motor, does that mean it's getting
Could
something
be a
different?
couple options. Could be just a pre-rig where the dealers, you've got a motor, customer has a motor deal or something like that.
I had a guy tell me that Suzuki's come out with a motor design for bass boats now.
Yeah,
It's coming out.
close. You know, I don't know about this year, but it's close.
Jim,
So this boat, if you made it a 919, you can do a 225 on it. It's really the same boat. They're just rated different horsepower. So 819, 919, same boat, horsepower rating is different. Just to keep, you know, a lower horsepower model out there. This one will be a 200, the other will be a 250.
the process of putting the paint materials on first and fiberglass is just amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
When you look at this, look how much of a point that comes to. It's hand painted, hand taped.
If they mess one up, do they have to just start completely over, or is there a touch-up process? I mean,
it's like anything, you can fix it.
okay.
You know, you can fix it. We'd rather them not mess it up.
Right.
Kind of how you break it down. And then your hull on your PHX and your deck is different on your Elites. Other than that, they're all Phoenixes.
Yeah, and
All great rides.
there again, everything's coming out of my pocket for everything, so
Yeah.
I'll talk to the dealer and see what my prices are between the versions and the
Yeah.
pros and cons. And
I
but
mean, you can get one.
I like the PHX.
You get a PHX that'll push way over 100. If you play it smart and do
I
the right
can't.
thing. Oh no, you can get it to ride it up that way.
Yeah.
You know, but you
DC.
You just
It's
kind of keep it
amazing.
sensible,
Yeah.
knowing that down the road you can upgrade other things. Either one, none of them are bad to go with. Elite, a lot of guys, we sell a ton of Elite.
Yeah. Looks like you got like a lot of younger people working.
Some of them been here a long time too, is the crazy thing. And brains, knowing how to do stuff. I'm on the phone most of the day, so if I ever, you know, I've done all of this, but if I ever have a question, I'll come over, and it's just so cool, the knowledge they have.
All under one roof.
Yeah. What do you think?
Not what I pictured.
Really, right?
If you go right now, you're pushing 6 boats a day. To increase 1 boat a day, what would that entail as far as
That's the $1 million question.
just adding, be more than just adding another person to the line?
That's right. Materials, being able to keep up with it, floor space. And it's a lot, and we constantly look at it. The market's gotta want it too, you know.
Right.
We're kind of that steady and slow wins the race. Could we jump to 50 boats next week? And yeah, we got the orders for it,
But then 3 months you're running
6 months.
out of,
6 months from now, what's the economy going to do? You know, what's going to happen? You know, you just don't know.
Hi, hello.
Well, everything is that high, whatever it is. So here's your kind of your layouts and your measurements for everything. Colors, of course. The Elite 2 is in here, I think. Pretty sure it is, because we did it last year. Yeah, so your Elite 2, and then your PHX.
And I really don't know that I would have a preference between 1 and 2 boxes up there.
Gosh, I would all day long. It's easy to me.
You like the one big?
I want one big box. Shorter guys, though, are like, I'd rather have this, because they're not going to put as much stuff they use all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to put it in here, and they feel like they can reach it better.
Okay.
But I'm reaching all the way to that front box right there, because I want to see it all. Oh, shoot, my jigs are in the front box. Oh, you know, but we sell them all day long like that. So I'm gonna go get you.
Oh.
I think I got a piece.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Any questions? I'm always here.
I appreciate it, I really do. Quite impressive.
Well, it's Phoenix, so wouldn't want anything less. But, so I appreciate y'all coming by.
Well, I appreciate
Any
your
questions?
time.
We're always here,
That's
so
great.
let us know anytime when you're ready to order.
Things work. I've got to get my boat up for sale and get rid of
Yeah.
it, obviously, but
Get it now.
and that's what I'm.
This is now. I mean, it's
Yep.
a selling market right now. So well, holler if you need anything when you get it. We'll be here.
All right, thank you very
Have a
much.
great trip. Be safe.
Thank you. Pretty nice. Pretty cool.
I like it.
And they're hiring.